Bees are doing good. I got to do an inspection. I put a super on last week, or 2 weeks ago now, I guess. These outside 2 hives, especially the blue one over there, I call it number 1. I was worried about it. It just did not seem to be doing great. I'm not sure exactly what it is. There was larvae, there was eggs. Just not much of anything happening. Maybe just a little bit of a slow period for it's the beginning of August. Maybe they just decided to slow down. But we'll check this morning around 10 or 11 o'clock. See how that looks. Let's see. Honeysuckle plant's growing pretty good. I've got it covered up with a loofah sponge on both sides here. Just kind of playing around with the loofah this year, seeing how we do. Had a few flowers. I don't see any fruit set yet, but maybe I'm just overlooking them. I would have expected that to be going on by now, but that'll be fun if we do get some loofah. Never tried it up here before. Buckwheat patch is coming to an end. See the little seed here. The chicken love this stuff. This is what they jump for. Just these little odd-shaped seeds. I probably won't let this reseed. I'm actually thinking about cleaning this area up, tilling it up, and planting some crimson clover in here. Man, I love crimson clover. I just like the way it looks. I'll have to fence this off, but this will make good compost. Let me show you how the chickens like this stuff here. Watch this. Who wants this? Yeah. Little zinnias are pretty out here. Pollinators playing around out there. I see them all the time. I do not know this plant. I gotta look that up. But it's growing good. Hopefully there'll be a flower or 2 on there. My thistles are going crazy. I'm gonna have to dig some of those up. I got a little too many thistles this year. I had 4 or 5 last year, and now they're gonna be taking over, it looks like. But you can see they're just starting to bloom. These little blooms will be opening up, the little flowers here soon. Hopefully the bees will enjoy that. Different little flowers in here. This is another plant. I don't remember what this is. I'm looking forward to that one blooming. Some kind of, it's not your typical milkweed, but it's in that family. I don't know if this is, I've got 3 or 4 different types of milkweed in here, in the same genus anyway. Don't know what they call. Baptista, coneflowers. This is a cup flower. I'm hoping it'll really get going next year. Cool little bumblebee likes it. Here's what's left of my sweet clover. Hopefully it'll reseed. You can see quite a few seeds sitting here on the stem. That looks good. Cosmos standing up tall, blooming. Pigweed, love my garden. My popcorn is doing good. Going to be making some corn, which you can see is about 4.5 feet off the ground, which prevents the chickens from pulling all the silks and killing the corn like they did my sweet corn. Sunflowers doing good. Some of these plants are nearly, I would guess, 9 to 10 feet tall, and they are just almost ready to bloom. There's one really good one in here. That one, I'm gonna have to measure it, but I bet you that thing is more than 10 feet. I got my tape measure on my belt. Let me check it out. Yeah, so that plant was like 10.5 to 11 feet tall. It's kind of hard to measure. The ground's so unlevel. Now this buckwheat patch is still providing plenty of pollen. So you can see the bee there enjoying it. So the sunflowers are facing away from us, but there's that plant there that had the flower, and say this one may be just a little taller. A little bit of grain sorghum starting to head up. Funny little plant. Now here is my sweet corn that I was, let's see if you can see that. The chickens, for some reason this corn is so short, but anyway the chickens really did a number on it. See, they pecked away as it grew, therefore I don't have any sweet corn. There's a good picture of the shed. Got my new door in there. Don't have the handle on the door yet. Working on the front side. You can see how much height we got behind here. I'm sure I put my little mower underneath there the other day. I thought, well, maybe we'll clean that up and make it a area for storing some tools or something like that. And I built my ramp the other day. See, the pump came on while we were walking around. I don't know what the ducks are doing. It's about 61 degrees this morning. Seems kind of chilly for middle of August to me. But so this thing is draining slow. I don't know why or where the problem is, but the pump just turned off. And now it's on the refill. I had a filter on the end of this thing going into the pump, but it was slowing the pump discharge, you know, the pump up was slowing so slow that I was getting an overflow of water down here from the drain, but now it's draining so slow, I don't think I'd have to worry about it. I don't know what, I guess there's some buildup of stuff somewhere. I have to keep experimenting with that filter system until we get this worked out. There's a ramp I built yesterday. Just got to kind of transition into the yard. I'm going to do some gravel here. I got to level that out a little bit, and then I'm going to throw some gravel down. That'll be step up to the ramp for the everything. And so really, all I got left to do is build a big old door here. I got to get the hardware for that. I want to do a sliding door, like a barn door. That's why I left that little gap there at the bottom. It's about 1.5 inch drop off, which I had Jackson test with one of his pedal cars. He was able to get up and down, no problem. So lawnmowers and all that shouldn't have any issues with that. It'll keep the rain from coming in and out. So that's about it. There's our new little babies. Kind of excited. I don't know. Let's see, they were hatched on Monday, so today is Saturday. What's that make them? 6 days old. So they're looking good, eating plenty, drinking plenty of water. So, same little brooder I had before. Put a heat lamp in here. They still need a little warmth. Using this, I just had these little waters, so I put them in a pipe and just pour a little water in here. It probably holds a little more than a gallon. And they just go in there and play around with this, and when they do, water comes out, and they just get them a sip every once in a while. So just need to check them every once in a while, make sure everything's working. So, let's see. Oh yeah. This is Indian runners. They're sexed. Supposed to be all females. So one of these days we're going to have some eggs. Let's look at the garden. There's another. This is really going good. The loofah sponge. Again, I don't see any fruit set yet. Quite a few flowers have come and gone. I'm sure they were pollinated. The bees are coming every day to this stuff. I'm going to irrigate the blueberries. I just laid the lines down. I need to you know, hook it up to the water. But I till this up in between. I need to do it again, but I'm gonna make another crimson clover patch through here, I think. My wildflower garden is coming to an end, I think. Well, there's still a lot of those little daisy looking things. Black-eyed Susan, brown-eyed Susan, whatever they are. Horseradish is growing good and strong. The asparagus patch looks great. Tomatoes have been doing great. Finally got rid of all those tomato hornworms thanks to the bounty I put on them, and the boys just got all crazy. Made them some money picking tomatoes. Picking tomato hornworms. Pumpkin patch is doing surprisingly well, taking over the hillside here. Just a few weeds popping up now and again. But I picked the first little pumpkin the other day. I watched a YouTube thing from the University of Maine on pumpkins. Because I've never grown pumpkins really. I might have had one or two before, but nothing like this. As you can see, it's kind of huge area here. But I like that on the side of the hill there. But you can pick them, and then there's a process where you let them dry for a couple of weeks, and then they can store for months, they said. He had an example of one he had that was a year old. It was still good shape. So I'm going to have to get out here soon, pick all the ripe ones. There's quite a few bigger, a lot bigger than this growing too. They're still green. There's one here. I think this will be like this one here. This one's quite a bit bigger. Different. I got 3 or 4 different varieties out here mixed in all here. Kind of hard to see them, but that'll be fun. I just need to figure out a way to store them. Got a new shed. I can put a rack in there, or I can put it under the back porch area until they dry out, and then I can store them in our bomb shelter. Let's see, this part of the garden, the rabbits have been doing their best. No matter what I do, I'm building some little areas to. I'm building these little panels with chicken wire. They're only 2 feet tall, but I'm gonna make them where I can just kind of set them in different areas and try to protect certain plants that the rabbits like. So the eggplants, they don't care. So I don't need to fence them in. Rather than trying to fence the entire garden in, I decided to try this. Jalapenos are doing good. Butternut squash is out of control. So we better be eating a lot of butternut squash this year, because we sure have a bunch of it. Jackson came out and picked all the carrots almost yesterday, I think. He's just got all crazy excited. They weren't through growing, but we got little carrots now to eat. Parsnips are still in the ground. They look healthy. I don't know how long it'll be, but they're getting there. I'm going to clean this area up, flatten it out. I'm going to build a series of compost bins across the back side here, and hopefully I can start generating enough compost to do some good in the garden. Our little apple tree looked like it's going to fall down. Got so many apples on it. Hopefully that'll be some good eating. These other apple trees are doing good too. This front one is just ridiculous. a little pear. This is some type of Asian pear. Quite a few on there. They're tasty. Oh.